it comes to purchasing a pair of shiny new headphones in 2024, the sheer amount of choice can be overwhelming. Everything is max, ultra, or a string of letters and numbers that could puzzle any cryptography expert. Fear not, we're here to zero in on what matters, finding the best pair for your needs. I'm Vanessa from Rtings.com, and today we're rounding up the cream of this year's crop to save you some serious time trawling the internet for a pair of headphones. We've factored in price, performance, and availability to deliver these picks from the 800 plus headphones we've tested. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see, and let us know if there's a product you want to see covered in a video review. Our best overall pick is the Bose QuietComfort Ultra Wireless. Over the years, Bose has become a household name in the audio realm, and not without reason. The QC series delivers exactly what it says on the tin: peace and serenity through excellent noise cancelling and a plush fit. Their stellar headband and ear cup padding keeps them comfortable enough to be worn for an entire long-haul flight, and their 29-hour battery life means that they'll go the distance. Plus, their ANC has got your back, even if the passenger next to you is obliviously playing Instagram Reels at full volume. We've been there. They have a bass-forward default sound that adds plenty of oomph to bass lines and booming 808s. They're a touch veiled in the treble range, but you can always adjust the EQ via the companion app. While their closed-back design doesn't do much to create a wide soundstage, you can switch on immersive audio to add depth and head tracking abilities to your audio. Our next pick needs little introduction. They're the XM4s. These ANC-equipped over-ears have the right amount of padding for a good seal that feels comfortable, helps block out environmental noise, and ensures a consistent sound. They aren't bulky either. You can fold them down and stow them in their zip case. The XM4 primarily use touch controls on the ear cups as housings, and you swipe to skip tracks like you would a Tinder profile. Their default sound has an elevated bass and low mids, with a somewhat exaggerated treble response. For hip-hop and EDM, you get a solid amount of rumble, thump, and boom. The Sony Headphones Connect app lets you adjust the EQ for a different sound too. You also get Bluetooth multi-device pairing to easily switch between devices, and the XM4 include the LDAC Bluetooth codec for high-quality audio streaming. Plus, you can use them wired if you want. Most other ANC headphones are only now catching up to the fantastic noise cancelling of the XM4. They effectively cut out low-pitched rumbling engines on the bus, ambient din, and chatter on airplanes, as well as the shrill cries of newborns on your flight. Relief. At 37 hours of battery life, these can last almost an entire work week without a recharge. Their mic is a bit of a weak point though, so if you take a lot of calls, you might want to look elsewhere. Otherwise, the Sony don't really leave you wanting much else. Perhaps the biggest testament to these over-ears is their staying power. 4 years on from their release, and they're still very much in the conversation. From this price point downward, we're in Anker territory, baby. The brand's Soundcore Q series covers everything from as cheap as a couple of cocktail options to the top-of-the-line Space Q45. Though a step down from the XM4s in most respects, the Q45 are much cheaper and closer to the Sony than you might expect in terms of performance. The Q45's amazing ANC blocks out everything from rumbly train engines to office chatter. And they don't leak much audio either. With a microphone that actually does a better job than the Sony at separating your voice from any noise around you, the Q45 are a great choice for taking calls. Out of the box, these are a fun and exciting pair of headphones to listen to. Their V-shaped sound profile delivers plenty of rumble and boom, so bass lines are warm and enveloping, and you really feel the thump of those 808s in your favorite Young Thug tunes. At the other end of the spectrum, hi-hats have plenty of crisp sizzle, but you might find the inflated mid-treble a bit fatiguing, as it renders sibilants like S&T sounds piercing. Fortunately, the Q45 come with a great companion app, allowing you to customize the sound to your liking using a graphic EQ and presets. These headphones don't feel as comfortable or as well built as more expensive options like the Sony or the Bose. But for the price, you get an excellent ANC, a decent microphone system, almost 28 hours of battery life, and a fun, customizable sound profile. That's pretty hard to beat. Going even further into Anker territory, we've got the Anker Soundcore Life Q30. Like the Q45, the Q30 keep up the tradition of good ANC, performing only slightly worse than the Q45, and for roughly half the price. They let through a little more engine rumble and mid-range ambient chit-chat, but they do an impressive job of blocking out everyday sounds. Don't worry, you'll be able to still listen to your favorite Shania Twain songs in peace. And for a straight 44 hours, which is how long their battery life lasts. But that don't impress me much. Their microphone does a noticeably worse job than the Q45 at separating your voice from any noise around you, so they're not the best choice if you're fielding calls left and right. But they capture your voice accurately though. These cans have a similar V-shaped sound profile to the Q45, with loads of bass and sizzle on tap. That's great for fans of modern pop and dance music, but all that extra boom can make jazz and folk recordings sound a bit muddy. Not to worry, as these ship with Anker's great Soundcore app. So if you prefer a more controlled bass and treble, you can adjust the graphic EQ to your taste. If you'd like to save a bit more cash and are happy to go without the app support, then the Q20 are worth considering. They're the predecessor, and their ANC isn't quite as good as the Q30s. They don't come with a companion app, though you still have a bass up feature to add more or less bass to their excited sound. But they really are as cheap as a few drinks on a night out, and their mic is a step up from the Q30s. If you prefer your strings attached, check out our audiophile pick, the premium Sennheiser HD800S. These are very, very well-made headphones designed for listening in quiet spaces. Their open-backed housing neither blocks out your environment nor prevents your audio from leaking out, offering a highly immersive and open soundstage. None of our other picks can match these cans for their passive soundstage performance. Like many headphones designed for analytical listening, the HD800S have a flatter bass and mid-range response than our Harman-derived target curve. Because many producers still use this kind of frequency response for audio production, what you hear is largely what people who made your music heard. Audio sounds very balanced and detailed, from the punch of a kick drum through to the vocal articulation of your favorite singer. Their low bass roll-off is characteristic of open-back designs, which means that you won't feel quite as much of the thump of deep sub-bass synths. That said, if that isn't a deal breaker, this tuning and the big, open soundstage make for a very enjoyable listening experience for most genres where hearing each and every detail is key. You'll also be able to really appreciate the panning of instruments within the stereo field to the fullest. The HD800S also sound virtually the same no matter who wears them. Glasses wearers rejoice. On the other hand, these are a pricey proposition, and they need a headphone amp, which amps up the price of admission even more if you don't already have one. There are plenty of headphones that we just don't have the time to cover, like the Philips SHP 9500. They're entry-level, wallet-friendly open backs, which are great for dipping your toes into a more expansive soundstage setup. Or the Focal Batiste. These bad boys are audiophile headphones for a wireless crowd. But they're quite expensive for Bluetooth cans. There's a lot of choice out there, but you're in luck. You can find these reviews and many more on our website. Well, there you have it, our top picks for headphones to buy in 2024. We've tried to include choices for all preferences and budgets, but feel free to let us know in the comments if we've missed your favorite pair. Until next time, I'm Vanessa from Rtings.com, where we help you find the best product for your needs. Goodbye! These cans have a similar V-shaped sound profile to the Q45, with loads of bass, lots of fish, and so much seaweed on tap. So much. I never say bass.
I know!